Yes, good afternoon, my friends. My name is Cody. This is the Cody Rohn Show going live to you on a beautiful Thursday afternoon on the 16th day of February. My talk today is called Anti-Bullying Policies, Mean Kids, kids being mean to each other, and how schools are battling to help kids not stop being so mean and help these kids stop being picked on so much. And in my thoughts, I think they do it kind of backwards, and I'll explain that here in a minute. And I'm no expert on these things. I have some thoughts, and I've listened to experts, so I will share with you from an expert that was sharing some interesting things on bullying. I will link to this video, the link to it. It was from the YouTube channel, The Art of Manliness. It's a good channel for those who are, men like myself trying to learn how to be a man, basically. But the video, he was interviewing a man named Nick Hughes, and he was a retired bodyguard. And he's a pretty big dude, but he was a bodyguard, and he was a professional at providing security services to those who work in government, politicians, musicians, anybody famous who is dealing with crowds and wants some protection. And he has lots of experience over the years, and he was sharing how he worked and what he taught his clients and his classes. He has his own classes he teaches, and the talk is mostly based on how to be your own bodyguard, basically. And it's a pretty good talk. It was really interesting. And the one thing he said that I thought was fascinating was he was talking about kids in school who are being bullied, and that these anti-bullying policies are not very effective. They don't work very well. Bullying is still a pretty big issue in school these days. He said that you'd have this kid who's being bullied and messed with, so the parents will take him out of the school, and they'll have him go into a new school. They'll have him enrolled here now, and then within 3 weeks he's being bullied once again. So they have him leave that school, and then once again go to a new school, and then, yes, you guessed it, once again being bullied once again. All different kids, the same kid. Why is this kid getting messed with? What is he doing? There's nothing glaring different about him. What is he doing that makes him a victim, basically? And he had thoughts on that. And he also said that they did a study at a prison. And the study was interviewing convicts who were in prison, very violent men who were murderers, assault, burglary, mugging people who were, I guess, predators and violent. And the study was, they had them watch video footage of people walking in a city. It was just random people, random pedestrians walking, and they had them watch it for a while and choose people that they would choose to target to be their victim. They would mug this person, they would assault this person, and they had them watch it and choose, and then they asked them why and how they chose their victims. And basically, all the convicts chose the same exact people every time, like the same ones. And it's interesting that they asked them why. Why did they choose this person? They said it wasn't based on gender. It wasn't based on their size, how big or small they were. It wasn't based on their race. It wasn't based on the way they were dressed. It was all based on one thing. Basically, it was based on their posture and the way they were walking. They said that this person is walking like they're trying to hide in the crowd. They're walking with their head down, they're looking at their phone, just trying to blend with the crowd. And they said they can just kind of read them, that this person just has no self-esteem. This person just has no confidence, and they definitely would not fight back if I jumped them, if I just mugged them. Like they would be a very easy takedown and easily to mug them. Just from their posture, they can see that, and that's amazing. I mean, it's sad because this person is already probably feeling really down, and then they're going to get mugged, and it's like, man, wow. And then he explained more that this is a pretty big deal. This could change a whole lot of things of the way you carry yourself. I mean, if you know how to carry yourself with posture, with some pride and some strength, with some uprightness, just that can help you not get mugged. And it makes a lot of sense. And I mean, all the poor kids who are getting bullied, I mean, is the answer to discipline the bullies more and more and more? Or is the answer to just make the victims more powerful, to help pump them up, to toughen them up, basically. Is that the answer? And I think that's more what it is. The bullies don't care what happens to them because they get a really good pleasure of making fun of these kids or bullying these kids. They really enjoy that. You can suspend them. They can have a nice meeting with their family. They can do all this talking, and they can, I mean, the answer probably is to have those kids' parents deal with it. But as far as the kids getting picked on, in my opinion, the answer will always be making that kid more powerful. And how is that then? How can you just make somebody confident, make them strong, make them well? It's like, well, I mean, if their policies are anti-bullying policies, then as a parent, do you raise your kids to have anti-low self-esteem policies or anti-depression policies? Like, no, you raise your kids so they can feel loved, so they can feel happy, so they can feel safe and secure with you, so they can know that, you know, the way they feel means something, so they can know that you just love being their mom or their dad, and that's a huge thing. Help them actually feel secure and help them know who they are. And then, you know, with siblings, yeah, I mean, siblings have a knack for helping to toughen up their siblings, to them to play with, and once again helping to build them up to know who they are, to feel very secure in who they are, because their siblings are helping to really affirm them. And then having good friends, like friends do this too. I'm blessed with, you know, good parents, good siblings, and good friends. And I mean, I've worked through my own issues in younger years of being bullied, and worked through my anxiety issues, and it's gotten a whole lot better. And really, most of it was good people around me that helped me know who I am, and me getting out of my comfort zone, you know, stepping out of the box, actually doing things. And yeah, the kids learning to be responsible, learning how to handle some suffering, learning how to handle themselves in a workplace or working on this. And then slowly this person gets built up, pumped up. And then the last part is actually bringing God into it, helping the person see themselves the way God sees them. And this is a huge thing. It should come pretty early on, but when somebody has this, when they are deeply affirmed in who they are in God's eyes, not just that they're loved, but I mean, they're truly loved by God, and that God is pleased with them, that they're living life with truth, that living life, you know, by God's principles, God's standards. To a certain point, nothing else really matters, because this person is getting fulfillment and happiness and peace and deep security from God himself. God gives that to them. And then the more they have that, the less the person wants that in the world. So if somebody is making fun of them, I mean, they just don't really care as much. They can just kind of look at the person like, you know, what's the matter with you? Like, or if they hear what they're saying and they're saying, well, is that true? I mean, let's say, I mean, number one, like, I'm not an extremely confident person, so this is just an example. But if somebody was making fun of my YouTube show, and they say, Cody, your YouTube show is stupid. You sound dumb. You talk too fast. I'd say, okay, well, I mean, do I talk too fast? Like, I can work on that, work on slowing down. And it's like, well, you have dumb ideas talking about spirituality. Like, oh, well, I guess that's just your opinion. I think these are good things to talk about. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to give an example. It's basically always answering it with reason, with truth that God gives you, that your parents give you, that their friends who love you give you. You're already built up and established that you're almost untouchable in a way. They can't shake you. So, in my opinion, these kids just need to be loved, and it's sad that they don't have, you know, two parents, or the parents are both gone, or they have no siblings or no good friends. I mean, these kids need to be loved. I mean, the answer is just to make that kid more powerful, and ultimately, with them knowing who they are in God's eyes. So, leave a comment, leave any thoughts that you have. I appreciate you watching this whole 9-minute video. Sorry for it being so lengthy. I will see you all in 2 weeks.